Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Angela. Lovely to have you join me again for another little tutorial today. We are working in my little floral folly journal. Couldn't think for a minute. And I wanted to do another exciting project or two with you. So come and join me and grab your goodies or your notebook and follow along. All right, so this is what we did last time, and you'll be able to see this in the playlist, as I usually tell you, the Floral Folly playlist. So I will put that in the link below the video. But remember, if you go to my YouTube homepage, you'll see videos and you'll see playlists as a tab at the top of the screen, and then you are able to have a look and see the various playlists there as well, so you don't have to go into the description box. But of course the description box is just below the video, and you can only see that though on your phone or on your computer or tablet, not the TV. So if it's on a computer, it'll have a little line, just a few lines down, that says see more. If you click on that, you'll see the description box. If it's your phone, it'll have a little V just below the right of the video, and you click on that and a whole wealth of information drops down. All right, so just for those of you who don't know where to go for that. Right, so as I said, this is what I did last week. I'm now on the back of this page here. So on the back of this avocado stain digital page, which is part of my kit, I've put this page, which is from the same kit, the Avo Tea and Lace pages. So it's this page here. This is just a vintage page from one of my books. I think it's called ABC Floral, and that's the page that I'm going to decorate first of all. That's just the middle of this, the whole signature and the whole journal, and then we've got the other side of the page here, and I'm going to do this one as well. So hopefully if I get that far. All right, the pages are still loose, so it's easy to remove them. Now what I thought I would do over here is I thought I would use one of the little oh, that's my chair, the little pockets that are part of the add-on from the Floral Folly kit. So I'm going to put that over there. I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, so I am going to move this over at the top there. And I'm going to just have a look and focus on this. So as you can see, it's the one that looks like that. And it's part of that add-on kit, as I said. Now I'm just going to put a few things. So what I've got is a little scrap of gingham fabric. I've put some muslin behind there, sewn on 3 pearl buttons. So I've got that little scrappy bit, and then I've got a butterfly, which is beautiful colors, and it comes from my butterfly digital kit. And then I've just cut out 2 of my die cuts. These come from Tim Holtz, the Sizzix, which are on my Amazon favorite list. So go and have a look here. This is the wildflower die, and this I think is garden greens. All right, this is the green sheet from the backing page from my kit. This is the pink backing page, which looks pretty much like this. Okay, so those are what I've used, and I'm going to jazz that up. I'm going to just take this page here, move these over a little bit. I'm going to just take the page I'm working on, which is this side over here. I'm going to move all of this on top here, and then let's just move that a little bit further up so you can see. Right, so I'm going to stick this down over here first of all, I think, and then we will then decorate these over there. So I'm going to move it along like that. Yep, so let's go and do that. So how's your week been, everybody? I'm so relieved it's the weekend. I know that a lot of people are watching football. I'm not because the football's on right now, and I did want to get this video done. I'm not an avid football fan, so you know, I can take it or leave it. So good luck to everybody. I will say the roads were really quiet, so that's lovely. Okay, so I'm going to now stick the little daisy cutout here, which, as I said, is from my Tim Holtz Sizzix Thin Knits Wildflower Kit. And if you're ever looking for any of the tools that I use, whether it's the glue, the die cuts, everything I use on a regular basis, that is, I have put onto my favorites list, so you're able to see the details of that. All right, so that's the reason for that. You're of course welcome to buy your things from Amazon through my shop. I do get a small fee for you doing that. It doesn't cost you anything, no, and it does just help, of course, to go towards me buying more bits and pieces to give you lovely tutorials. So of course you don't have to do that, and you know it at all, so don't feel obliged, please, you know. But if you are buying something that's from there, that's lovely of you and I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to just stick this little green bit on, which is garden greens. So I'm going to stick that on there. And then I'm going to just put my art glitter glue aside. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, which is what's in this sugar bell tube, which you can also find there. I'm going to just put some of that because this is fabric and lace. I'm just using up the little scraps in my container I showed you last week. And I just want to, I like making little scrappy bits like that, so, you know. So I'm just sticking that down on the corner there. And yeah, let's just take that bit off. And then just going to position the butterfly probably just on the side there, or there. Let's put it there. So the weather's changed here, you know, as the Brits, as we like to say, the weather has to come into it at some point. So the weather has changed, and it's a bit wintry really today. It's quite cold, so I've got the doors and windows closed, so it must be cold. Right, so there we go. We've got that laid up there, and I'm going to share with you ever so quickly a little project that I want to put in here using a mailer. Something I haven't done before, but I was just playing around with it and I thought, well, why not share it today? All right, so I'm going to use this lovely mailer, and this came from a lovely lady, and she knows who she is, who gave me this and a whole bundle of these, so I'm very grateful. This is from the US, so I was very happy with that. So what we don't have are these two pockets like that. I'm going to use this because I thought of a great idea to use this, and of course you don't have to use something like this. You could use any mailer that you have and adapt it accordingly. And guys, if you don't have a mailer, use a piece of copier paper, fold it in half and create something using that, because you can easily do that. All right, so what I did was I'm going to cut this mailer off. I'm going to, I want to make it about this high, so at about this point here. And so I'm going to show you with the one that I have cut off. All right, we are also going to use the piece on the other side as well. So I'm just going to show you what I have done. I have very quickly cut off the mailer. This is a different one. I've just prepared some of the things, otherwise it's 14 centimeters or 5.5 inches, and 4 inches or about 10.5 centimeters that way. So that's what it is. And it is a mailer, so the side is open, and that's going to change anyway, but great, because I just took my polka dot pink, and I keep wanting to say fabric, but paper, and I'm going to just stick that in there behind, just so that it covers up the background, because it doesn't go with my theme, so I thought I would just do that. So I'm going to get it quite close to the edges here, because you don't want whatever you put in there to get stuck. So I'm giving it a bit of a gluing down, and I'm going to just stick that in there like this. Alright, so I'm not doing too well with this because the flap at the bottom, there we go. Alright, so there we go. Squash that down. Okay, so there we have it. We've got these two like that now. Trying to avoid the light shining, reflecting off here. So that's going to be the background. I mean, you could leave it just like that. It works pretty well as it is. But what I did was I took this piece of paper, and what I do is, and somebody asked me this the other day, so I thought I would just share that quickly. She wanted to know, how do I cut out the windows on a piece of paper? So what I do is I measure the piece of paper to fit the entire area that I want to cover. All right. I do take these, which are invaluable. I can't. They're actually, I think, for quilting clips, which are also on my Amazon site, so go and have a look. And these are really reasonable and so fantastic to use. I clip it down so that it's positioned exactly where I want it, and then all I do is I take my pencil, I lift up a little bit here, and I just gauge where the area is, and I mark it as I'm going with a little dot. So you can see, if I look over here, I'm looking at the line there, and I can see underneath by looking where it is, and you'll see I've made various marks. So I've moved it exactly. Now, this one I've moved slightly higher because I wanted those lined up, and because this one's slightly lower, I wanted these lined up, so I have lined them both up to the same level. Right, so I've joined the little dots that I've made, and now what I'm going to do is just take my ruler and my knife, or you can do it with your scissors, and I'm going to cut out those bits there. All right, so that's how I go about doing that, in case you wanted to know. All right, so let's just put that back. Want my ruler, and I wanted my knife. All right, so this is just a crafting knife. You can get these from the hardware store, or you can find them on my Amazon site as well. I do like to use these, but if you're not used to using a knife, then, you know, stick with your scissors. Make a little hole in the middle, cut yourself over to the edge and do it with that. I have been using a craft knife, or, well, this is really a a standy knife, for well over 15 years. So for me, and I've never cut myself, but I am careful with it. You know, you've just got to go slowly. That's what I say. Take your time with these things. All right, and then close the blade when you're done. Okay, so there we go. Those are just going to fall out now, and I will use those for something. You know I will. So we will just put them in that little container. Right, so that's how I go about making little windows. And now that's going to fit pretty perfectly on top. Oh, I think it's this way, on top of this. So there we go. Look at that. Okay, so we can give that a little bit of distress ink, and we can stick that down. Right, now before I stick that down, what I want to do is I want to sew a line down the middle here, because I'm wanting 2 different tag pockets. Now if you don't have a sewing machine, glue down the middle there. All right, so you can do that. And let's just well, I'm not going to do that, but what you could do is just find the middle mark here, which I do need to do myself. So this is just over 4 inches, as I say, so it's like 4 1/16 pretty much. And I am going to just make a line there, and that's the line that I'm going to sew down. All right, so let me go and do that very quickly, and when I come back, I will pick up right from there. So I'll see you shortly. All right, guys, so you can see I've just sewn straight down the middle. That's going to give me the 2 pockets that I want. Okay, so now what I want to do is I just quickly want to glue this bit on the top here. So I just want to make sure I have got it, and I haven't, the right way before I start doing that. And just to make sure, I'm going to take those little clips again, and that looks right to me. And because this glue is so quick drying, you know, you want to have this in the right place. So I'm going to just make sure that I do have it in the right place before I start with this. Okay, so we're going to start over here. Okay, so there we have it all done nicely. But of course we still have an opening there. So if you are gluing and you're not going to sew, you are going to just put a little bit of glue just on the edge over there like that, and you're going to glue it down. All right, so there you're going to have it. Now what I want to do is I just want to stitch right around there just to give it a decorative feel, and of course this is not required. Okay, so let me do that quickly and I will be back. Okay, so there we have it. I've just stitched there. We've got a pocket now on that side and we've got one on that side. Now the last thing to do is just wanted to stick some paper on the back here, and I've got some avocado dyed paper that I had a stamp that I stuck down the side there, and I thought that would be quite nice. So I'm going to just put some of this down, and it also covers the stitching underneath. I'm not always a fan of the stitching underneath, so sometimes I like to stick the paper on afterwards, but of course you can do whatever you would prefer. Okay, so we're going to just do the same here. Make sure you've got this lined up, and hopefully that is the right spot, and I think it is. All right, so we can just then give this a little bit of a distress ink as well, if that's what you like. Okay, so I've got that all sorted. Sorry. Then what I did was I took one of my sheets of paper, and I'm just looking for it here, and cut off this piece here. I think, was it this piece or was it that piece? It was this side I had left over from a project we did, and I measured this to the size of the complete pocket here. So, oh sorry, so effectively I cut off just short of the edges, something to about that length. All right, so slightly higher, and then down there like that. So I've cut that, and then I've slit it in two after backing it onto card. So if you have a look here, you can see what I've done. I've made two tags, but as I said, I measured the piece to be like that. Then I've split it in two, and I've made two separate tags. All right, and I haven't backed them. Right, so it's on card, but I need to put tea stain paper on the back, which I haven't done yet. All right, so this one is now going to peek out the one window. Just trying to get it in here. There we go. So that one's going to peek out there. And this one's going to peek out of the other one. And together they make up one picture. All right, so there you go. Hope you can see that without it shining. So I thought that was quite a nice idea, and something a little bit different for me. And you can write on the back. So that's going to go into this pocket here like that. And then I thought I would add in just another small tag. So I've just made a tag quickly out of this paper, which is part of the backing papers from the kit, from the actual sheets, the digital pages, and I put it onto card. So I've done that and just put a little bit of a scrap there and an eyelet. So I'm going to just put that in the front here just to sort of break it up. All right, so that's what we've done for that one. One page done, one to go. Now, of course, you'll remember this piece goes in over here, which is a vintage book page. And then what we're going to do is we'll leave the center bit as it is, because that's pretty and it's got a lovely poem, so I'm happy with that. And then I want to do something on this side over here. So what I'm going to do here is, and I'm going to just move that out the way for the moment, is I'm going to make a little, use my gatefold template. So it looks like this in the Templates 2 kit. And this is called Template 1. Now you can do many things with this. You can use it as a gateway fold like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to effectively fold this flap that way around a page and fold this one in like that. All right, so bear with me. It's going to go over the page. I think it's going to go like this and like this, something like that. All right, and on the back of this page, we've got the avocado stained, and this is the page we were working on before, like that, which was last week's page. All right, so it's the other side of that. Okay, so I'm going to put this just to the side again. Going to take my little template. I'm going to show you what I did. So I took a piece of card. So this is like light cardstock. And what I did was I take the template, and I'm not going to cut this out because I have prepared one, but I just wanted to show you. If you put it onto the side there like that, and then you just take your pencil and run it around your template. All right, now the template I have backed onto card, so it's waste card. I think it was from another cereal box thing or something. So you draw it around like that, and you're going to cut out this to use now. All right, so that's what I've done. Okay, there you've got your template to use on something else now, and that's the joy of templates. All the bits I have cut out the piece that I've shown you. Now I've folded the one end in like that, and the other end the opposite side, so you've got something like a Z or a Z, as they say in the US. All right, so you've got them opposite like that. This is going to tuck around here. I think one of these is going, how did I have it now? I think it's like that. All right, so you're going to have this bit like this, you're going to have this bit peeking over there, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do to decorate that. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I took my I'm going to get all my bits and pieces together. I took this sheet and I printed 2 to a page. Now you don't have to do that, but I have in this case. If you want to know how to do that, I do have a tutorial showing you how to do that on either a PC or a Mac, so you can follow along. And I printed 2 to a page. Alternatively, you can just reduce your pages scale wise and print them at 50%. So that's the other way. All right, so there we go. I have then taken this piece over here like that. So what I did was I took the edge like that. I put it onto the page where I wanted it. I've just drawn around it, made a little mark there and there, and cut that out. Okay, so that's what I've done, and that's on the one side. So I think it's on this side here, if I'm not mistaken. Just checking. Yes, so I'm going to stick that on there now. All right, so let's just have that nice and flat. Let's just put some glue on here and stick this down. And I do like making these, and I love this template. It's got such a lot of versatility in so many different ways. And if you have a look on some of the other videos that I have done using this, you'll find some inspiration hopefully there. And some of my favorite projects I've made using this. It's got such a lot of alternatives. So there's the one stuck down. All right, so that one is going to go like that. Now on this side here, I have gone, because on that side of the page we're looking a little bit more pink, I have gone and cut out a pink bit. Okay, and I'll show you. I've done the same. I cut 2 to a page. All right, and then again, same procedure. I found where I wanted it. It goes over there, so as you can see, it's over there, and I've cut that out. All right, so it's the same method there, and this then is going to go on this piece over here. All right, now once what I did forget to mention is just score according to the template. It's got the lines that you need to score, so just make the little marks and score that. You can use a butter knife and a ruler. You can use this bit here of your trimmer. You know, there are options, so don't worry if you don't have a scoreboard. So I'm going to just stick this down here. So again, go quite close to the edges, because of course I won't be stitching this. I mean, you could, but I thought it was just gonna take too long, and I just didn't feel like that today. It's the end of the week. We all want to relax, don't we? Right, so I'm going to just fit this here. There we go. And then you can just take your distresser and distress the edges as much as or as little as you prefer to. Alright, so there we go. So we've got the one in that color. That's going to just loop over the page, and we've got that one like that. Right, now what I want to do is I want to cover this bit here. Okay, so we're going to just stick down this polka dot pink paper over here. So this is going to go just on the inside cover, and as I was saying, you're not going to see that underside there. So I'm going to just keep it close to the edge here with a glue. Just like to make sure that my edges do stay down. Alright, so thank you everybody for your wonderful comments that you have been leaving me. I'm so happy to see that so many of you are following along and enjoying yourselves. It really is so lovely to hear. So I really appreciate that. Okay, so we've got that bit down like that. And then on this side, what I wanted to do was, I thought I had this little doily scrap here. So this is from my doily, my first doily kit in lace. So I've cut out a piece. I had to trim off a bit of an edge. So I've got this, and I'm going to just stick this down like that. Now it will extend a bit, but I quite like that, so I'm going to leave that like that. So I'm going to just stick this down. And like that. Now it doesn't quite go to the edge, but remember this is going to be folded down, so I'm not worried too much about that like that. So that's great, and with everything on, you're not going to see this either. Okay, you can always distress it if you want. That is up to yourself. All right, so there we go, quite like that. There is a bit of glue sticking out here. I'm just going to wipe it off. There we go. My poor hands. Right, so we've got that bit like that. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and you can just see if I hold it up, just a little bit on that bit there and the little straight bit there. That is going to just hold this down as a flap. All right, I'm going to just use my little clips again. Like I say, these are just so invaluable. Just going to keep it there while it's drying. Okay, so there we go. And on this side, I'm not going to do that right yet. There is a little bit of, I wanted to go over the page. So I just want to grab my bone folder here, and I just want to give that a nice burnish there, just to keep it nice and flat. All right, so that's what we're going to do there. Now I have got a couple of things that I have just put together very quickly, and I wanted to just share those with you. So the first one is I've just got one of these, which is like a bit of a journal card. That's going to go in here. Then I have taken one of my little doilies that I come from my second doily kit that I showed you last week. That is going to go and behind my actual pocket there. And then I've got another little thing, so I'm just going to put that aside while it's drying. Then what I did was I have got a little another little pocket that I'm going to make and show you how I did that. And this is using from the same kit as that template, the gateway template we've just used, is the little mini pocket templates. I do love using these with all sorts, whether it's glassine paper, greaseproof paper, you can use normal paper, all right, so printed paper, anything you like. So what I did was I used this, put it onto the peach paper, which I had a scrap lying there, which I printed the brown, the sort of coffee stained on the back, and the peach on the front. And as you can see, I've just cut that out like that. And then I have just scored where the the lines are over there. So easily done. You just fold those behind and you fold that up and you've got a little pocket like that, or a little bag. All right, so all we need to do is run some glue over the edge there and the edge here, and we can stick that down, and then we just run some glue over the edge here and we stick that down. So this is what I love about templates, is that you can roll these things off really quickly. And then I just wanted to decorate this up, so really quick and easy. I've just taken 2 of my little fussy cuts. I've printed these 2 to a page as well, so they're smaller, and I wanted to just layer them up here quickly. So I'm going to have that one sort of like that, and then I'm going to stick this one, and I think I'm going to trim that bit off the bottom here. I just don't want it going beyond the edge of the page, so there we go. We just take that little bit off, so that's better. I just amend them as I go. So I'm going to just stick this little bit over here. So I do love this nasturtium image. Okay, so we've got that little bit going on there. Then I've just got a little sentiment, thoughtful, and I thought I'd stick that down as well. Also from my typewriter little sentiments. Let's just have that over here like that. And then the last little bit was one of my little butterflies, again 2 to a page, so they're little tiny ones, also from my butterfly kit, and I'm going to just stick that over there like that. Okay, so there we've got a cute little pocket. And then just 2 pieces of ephemera that come from that ephemera kit. I'm going to just stick those in there like that, peeking out. And then that's going to end up going in here as well. So let's just put it all together now. One little last piece to show you ever so quickly, and what it is the rest of that little envelope. I've just cut it down so it's about 2 inches high by 4 inches, so it's just the end. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to stitch this one, I'm just going to glue the end closed like that. I've stuck a piece of tea stain paper on the back to write on it. And then again, using scraps, I've cut a piece of the doily that we used before, and I had a piece over. So I'm going to just have that poking out over the top, and I'm going to stick that down. So we're going to just stick all of that down there. And it does sort of poke over a little bit, so I just liked all the sort of layers going on here. But don't be afraid to save those scraps. You know I'm going to use them. And I can't get enough of them at the moment, so I do keep everything that I cut off. Right, so we've done that, and then again scraps. This is a bit of this paper here, so a scrap I've just pulled off that I had from that little container, and I'm going to just stick this in the corner here. Nothing wrong with that. So these are all scraps to do with things that we've used in the kit here. So then I've got 3 little bits. One is that sort of latte paper, one is this one with the writing, and one is the little pink polka dot. And I'm going to just layer these up here. I think that one will go at the bottom to cover that. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to put them down just like that. So let's just start with this one right here. I do love how all these things work together. It does look pretty. So we're going to stick that one there, then we'll go with this one here. And I've just torn them into sort of scrappy rectangles really. So this one will go like that. And then I've got this little pink piece. See, nothing goes to waste here. I look at the scrap and think, what can I do with it? I'm just not happy to throw it out. All right, so we've got another little pocket emerging over here, as you can see. Right, so we've got that looking good. And then one of my little fussy cut flowers from the first fussy cut. I've printed this 2 to a page, so 2 of the sheets per page, and they're smaller. Again, you can find that on those digital, on how to make the most of your digitals tutorial. So I'm going to just stick, how do I want this? I want it like that, so I'm going to just stick that there. And then I've just got the little stamp that's like a really little tiny image, and it comes from my add-on kit. So got that there, and I'm going to just stick that, I think, just over here, I think. Why not? All right. So we've got another little pocket from little scrappy bits from the mailer and little bits and pieces. So we've got everything that we're going to need. I also took one of these, which is in part of the ephemera kit, and I put the backing, which is the back of this actual postcard, and then just a cabinet card, a back of the cabinet card, which is part of the ephemera kit as well, and I've backed that onto tea stained paper. So we're going to use all of these things. And I'm going to show you now how I'm going to put it together. So I'm just going to grab this piece like this because it's easier to work with. And now we've got this bit over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck that over the edge of this page like that. And we're going to, I'm going to just, I want to just put a little bit of glue just on the flat end here, as I did previously, and also I don't actually need the underside of that. Right, so let's put that down like that. There we go. So that's going to hold that in place there, and on this side I just want to put some glue on this bit here. This is just going to make this a tuck spot. Okay, like that. There we go. Right, so that's now glued in place and it's not going to move. So that's great. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this doily and put that behind. It's a bit long. I should have moved this down a bit. I wonder if I can still. Maybe, maybe not. Right, so what we're going to do is we are now going to fold the doily. Oh, I should have done that. Shouldn't have done that, should I? So we'll just put it in there like that. Okay, that was a bit silly. Okay, and then I'm going to put in the postcard or journal card just at the back here. In fact, let's see if I can put that on the side here like that. There we go. So we're layering it in there like that. And then I'm going to just put this little pocket into this little pocket over here. All right, so we've got a little pocket sticking out over there. And then on this side, this is where I'm going to decide what I want to put here. Now I've got this big card there, and I've got that like this, or do I want to, I think I'm going to keep this for future reference and see what it is that I want to put in there. I'm not overly convinced with everything that I have here at the moment. All right, I think that's enough. Okay, right, so this can now go into our page. Let's have a look. We'll hang on to this because this will go somewhere in our journal. This goes over here like that. Oh, sorry, like that. Okay, so that's what we've done today. We've got this bit here with our little 2 pockets and our little tag. That's going to fit in there. And then that's enough for there. Then we've got this page breaking that up. Then we've got this bit over here. And I went with the peaches because it sort of ties in with some of the yellows over here. So that's that side of things. And I should have stuck this further down, but hey-ho. And then on this side we've got these 2 bits which look pretty nice over here. Okay, so that's all that we've done for today, which I think is quite a lot. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment, everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed following along. I hope it gives you some other ideas on how to use this kind of a template and how to use a mailer in that sort of format. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for spending time with me again, as always. Leave you a message. Let me know how your journal's coming along and what you thought of the projects we've tackled today. It won't be long and we'll be finished this, and I'll have another project for you to work on. All right, so have a brilliant weekend, and I'll see you guys all in the very next video. So bye-bye.